Hi guys, welcome to another video from Overbite Gaming, and today we're taking a look at Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War 2. Now, I'd never finished this, so I sat down over the last week and powered my way through it and finished the damn thing, finally. I've only owned it for like a decade or something, but I finally got through it. It was originally released in February 2009, and as I said in my previous Dawn of War video, it moved quite a far way away from the gameplay of the first one by removing bases, which was a bit of a risk because base building was an established sort of RTS trope at the time and kind of expected for RTS games. So what you've got is you can take up to 4 squads into the combat arena with you. You do get to pick which ones you can take out of, I think it's 6 total. You have the Force Commander, which is essentially your character. He's not really voiced outside of like battle cries and stuff like that he says in the game. But it's supposed to be you, and you can equip him. He's probably the most versatile character in terms of where you can equip him, and has access to commander items, which, you know, stuff like iron halos and teleporters, things like that. He can be turned into, like, he starts off pretty handy in melee combat, and you can go down that path, or you can like respec him into more of a range combatant, because you can give him some big ass range weaponry if you want, and you can give him Terminator armor later on, so he's pretty damn good. He's also extremely tanky and has a lot of health, so it's all good. Outside of him, you have a squad of tactical marines who can also equip Terminator armor later on. They can also equip close range weaponry if they want to, but it's kind of like, why would I do that? And you've got to like invest into their melee skill tree in order to do so. It's far better to have them just as a tactical marine squad rather than try and make them an assault marine squad. Speaking of assault marines, you also have some of those. So you have Thaddeus leading the assault marines, and basically they have the jump packs, and they're obviously like close combat guys. Again, you can respec them into a range unit, but they're never really that good as ranged weapons, so it's best to keep that when you've got like loads of like squishy guys that you can just sort of throw them into the middle of and like have them beat the shit out of everybody. You obviously have a Devastator squad as well, which can of course equip a lot of heavy weaponry, such as plasma cannons, rocket launchers, heavy bolters, which is the default heavy weapon they start with. They do really well at suppressing an enemy, making them move slower. They can also equip Terminator armor later on, so they're pretty good, but they're not very good in close combat. You can buff them up a little bit, much like the other things. It's like, yeah, okay, why would I put points in there? It's like a last ditch thing. It's like if they're in close combat, it's kind of like bad anyway, and you've not set them up correctly, or you've let enemies leak through your line to get to them, so yeah. But they are a super useful squad. Initially they do take time to set up their heavy weapons before they start firing, but you can upgrade the skills on them to make that non-existent, which is cool. You have a scout squad, which specialises in stealth infiltration, so you can activate their stealth abilities, which means they can go out undetected and deploy traps, stuff like that. They generally have like bolters by default, but you can use flamers as well as combat shotguns and sniper rifles. I always go with the sniper rifle. I tend to keep the scouts sort of out of mischief mostly, and just have like lead guy plink things with the sniper rifle while his guys support him with bolters. I think that's the best. And finally, you get access to a dreadnought quite late in the game, late-ish, as it's a character that's been injured during the course of the game and now has come back in the living tomb of a dreadnought. He initially comes just with 2 power claws and a flamer, so obviously a close range behemoth, but you can change that out and equip him with like an assault cannon, and you know, obviously with an assault cannon he's pretty good at range, good at suppressing, stuff like that. So that's the units you have available to you. As I say, you can take 4 of the 6 with you to each mission. Obviously you read the mission description and you're like, okay, it's a defense mission, I'm probably going to want to take like the Devastator squad, so I can set up fields of fire, slow them down, give my guys time to like lay into them with their bolters, stuff like that. Each mission will show you as well the reward you get for it, which is usually a weapon or a piece of equipment. Obviously, late game you're looking for Terminator armor, and you will eventually be able to outfit 3 of your squads with that. There is enough in the game to do that, but I think I'm not sure if it is random or not. So the storyline is it's quite similar to the first, if I'm honest. So you go there to quell an orc uprising. There's Elder about because they know something else is going on, and instead of chaos this time, the something else is indeed the Tyranids. I almost said Tyrannids. I know people don't like that, so we'll go with Tyranids. Who turn up. As I've said before, Tyranids aren't really my favourite bad guy because they don't really have personality. Orcs have just acres of personality. You know, Eldari, okay, they're up themselves, but you can still, there's still diplomacy happening, and there's more intrigue and stuff like that. Dark Eldar, Drukhari, well, I don't think it's much diplomacy going on, but they certainly are characters, put it that way. It's some of the most fucked up shit you will see, and obviously chaos is just chaos. It's depending on the chaos god that sponsors them, you get all sorts of riotous sort of communications and actions and responses from them. But with Tyranids, it's just swarm, eat, repeat. I didn't even plan that, and that came out pretty good. I'm quite pleased with that. So I find them the most boring. I mean, they are really intimidating. Just this uncaring swath of teeth coming at you across the battlefield, moving planet to planet, leaving planetary dead husks in its wake. That's terrifying. But they just don't interest me. I mean, they're scary, but they're not interesting to me. So, you do still get like late game Orc missions and Eldar missions. You obviously take down the Eldar, take down the Orcs, and take down the Tyranids because, yay, Imperium. You do have side missions in this as well, which can be used to level up your teams to get more skill points to apply to their various trees, and also get, you know, the mission rewards. There will be items dropping during missions as well. You just click on them and pick them up, and at the end of the mission you can assign them where they need, or you can recycle them for extra experience for your squads, which is a nice touch, because if you got like a level 10, like before your squad's level 10, and you've still got like level 6 bolters knocking around, you don't really want them, so being able to recycle them into XP is a really nice deal. The side missions, they're not great, if I'm honest. Most of them are defense missions that I came across. There's a bit more variety, but it's like 1 of 2 missions you normally get. The defense missions are, you've captured this planet, you've captured this facility, there's a horde of orcs or Tyranids coming, you need to defend it through 3 waves, do that, and you win the mission. And that's most of them, to be fair with you. I mean, it's good that you have a way of like grinding if you need to. If you're like having trouble with a mission, you can like grind to get your teams up, but a lot of missions do have time limits on it, so it will expire within 3 days or whatever. I don't think most of the campaign missions are like that though. Just mainly the side missions. You also have a Tyranid sort of counter for the infection status of the planet. Not gonna lie, I had one go up to maximum. I couldn't really tell any different was happening. I expected like, oh, this planet's lost, but it just kept giving me missions, so I was like, I mean, maybe it affects the amount of side missions for Tyranids you get from that planet. Maybe you get more. There you go. So that's the campaign. Now, my feelings on this game are, it's really well done. I mean, I can't really fault it for what it does, exactly what it sets out to do, and it does it really well. My problem with it is what it wants to do and what I want it to do are slightly different, in that I'm still You know, because I'm a fucking boomer. There you go. I'm still into the base building of an RTS. Not having bases is a sure way of turning me off an RTS. I'm not gonna lie. Playing through this again, it was a little bit of a slog. I mean, I was always interested in the story, even though it was relatively familiar. And I really enjoyed the upgrading of the characters and getting new equipment for the characters. That always sort of like dragged me through any lulls I had where I was just like, oh god, another defense mission. But you know, it's the name of the game, and as I said, it does what it does really well. And the ability to customize your squads is such a good thing. I mean, that in and of itself, it just brings such a freshness. It's even with your same squad, you've just gone like, right, I'll try a different weapon on him, or, you know, I've got different armor for him that gives him different bonuses, or, you know, stuff like that. It's really nice to do. Now, I don't know if I'll play through the 2 DLC. I guess it depends on how good this video does, if I'm going to devote my life to playing Dawn of War 2. I am working on a non-Warhammer review for next week. But I mean, I would seriously recommend anyone that likes RTSs to at least give Dawn of War 2 a try. It might surprise you, even if you're a base builder like me. I mean, I had enough fun with it that I don't feel like I wasted my time, even if, you know, occasionally I felt the need to, like, I want to play something else, just for a little while, kind of thing. But I mean, and the good news is it is £15 on Steam. It's none of this £40 nonsense. You can buy like a £40 version of it, but I believe it includes all of the DLC. The DLC there's 3 of them, and I think I'm actually going to have to go to Steam and remember the name of the middle one. It's like Chaos Rising, something like that. Oh god, I hate when I have a white screen up. I can't never find my mouse. There it is. There it is. That is one thing I found, actually. That was very, very happenstance. I had real difficulty sometimes in locating my mouse cursor because it's quite bloody small. And I'm like looking around for it, trying to find my mouse cursor, and my men are getting killed. I'm like, where the hell is it? You eventually find it, but you know what I mean. So yeah, where is it? It was indeed Chaos Rising. I'm not a fucking complete idiot after all. Chaos Rising is also £15, but the newer DLC, which is Retribution, is £25. So, you know, if you can get, I think the Master Collection is what I'm referring to. It's £40. Let me check for you because I don't want to leave you wrong. Yes, that includes all 3 main DLCs. There is another one. Sorry, 2 main DLCs. There is another one. It's like £8, and it's like Final Stand. I think it's a game mode. I don't have it, so I've been unable to tell you. But yep. So $54.97 will be the cost of the main game and both expansions, whereas you can get it in the Master Collection for £40. So you save £14.98. That's what Steam tells me anyway. I'll believe them. I'll believe them, because they would get sued if they lied about things like that. So there you go. Oh, one thing I just want to tack on that's completely unrelated. I just noticed that they're remaking Until Dawn. They're bringing an enhanced PC version out, and I cannot tell you how happy that makes me, as long as they don't fuck around with it and make it shit, like most fucking remakes. If they just bring the game across, 60 frames a second, PC, I'll be queuing up for that one, because I love Until Dawn. It's easily my favourite of the... I can't remember the publishers, but you know, the guys that do House of Ashes and all those ones. That's easily their best game, and it hurts to play it. Even like on my PS5, you know, playing the PS3 version, the frame rate is so tanked. It just, it hurts my eyes. I mean, I must have gotten spoiled, because when I first played it, I just loved it. I didn't even notice the frame rate very much. But yeah, and I'm still carrying like a little affection for Emily in it as well. I know she's a bitch, but she's a fit bitch. Anyway, guys, before I go too far off topic, that's all for this week, and I'll catch you next time. Take it easy.